Hello everyone! I'm back with a third installment of Faculty 5 in 5. These short presentations are designed to provide you, our teaching faculty, with 5 teaching points in 5 minutes. Today we will focus on direct observation. In this time where our interactions with our learners are hampered by masks and distancing, it is more difficult to make performance assessments. Employing direct observation becomes even more important than ever to provide our learners with the information to become competent, independent physicians. I want to start with this saying by Yankee All-Star baseball player Yogi Berra. He is well known for his Yogi Berraisms. Yogi Berra once said, "You can observe a lot just by watching." How true this is in medical education. This is a great segue to direct observation. It really is true that you can observe a lot just by watching your learner. Direct observation provides the means to assess the skills that are crucial to becoming a good doctor. There is no better way to assess the crucial core learner skills of history taking, examination, and counseling than with direct observation. Consider this baseball coach. How can he make this future Red Sox pitcher better if he doesn't watch what the boy is doing and then give him corrections? Why should we be different in medical education? Direct observation helps us ensure our learners provide high-quality care. We can coach them along as we see what they do. We can commend them on becoming competent with skills they've developed, help them tweak skills that need a little work, and correct skills that are impairing good patient care. We can also build trust based on what we see to let us know when they're ready to fly on their own. Also, direct observation is required by the Accreditation Council for Graduate Medical Education, or the ACGME. Let's get to our 5 points. Point number 1. Direct observation allows you to see and hear firsthand what the learner is doing. Think about it. Would you ask a pianist to go into a room and play the piano and come out and tell us how it sounded? George Miller, writer, director, and doctor, equates what we do in medical education to just this. We ask our inexperienced learner to go into a room, talk to a patient, elicit the appropriate information, perform an exam, relay important information to the patient, and then tell us how it went. With direct observation, you actually know how it went. Point number 2. There is always something important to observe. You don't need to do a lot of planning. Opportunities for direct observation are everywhere. Direct observation can be done while a learner is establishing a relationship with a patient, taking a history, performing a physical, counseling, doing telemedicine, and working with others. I think we can all agree helping a learner become competent in any of these through our efforts at direct observation will be worth it. Point number 3, direct observation does not need to be high stakes. If we think of it as a big deal, we're more reluctant to perform it. Direct observation lets us see clearer. We can assess a single skill and coach the learner how to improve this skill. A single direct observation isn't a global rating, so it doesn't need to be seen as a big deal. Point number 4, direct observation is actually time efficient. I'm sure many of you wonder how you can possibly have time to watch your learners. Direct observation is not a time drain. Think about a scenario like this. What if every time you go into a patient's room on rounds, you need to spend extra time re-explaining plans to the patient? You wonder, what did my intern do this morning? We had a plan in place and the intern said they explained it. Why are these patients so confused? And why is this taking so long every day? If you had observed the intern and patient interaction for a few minutes, you might figure out what the problem is, save a lot of time in the long run, and reduce the anxiety the intern is likely feeling as they sense your displeasure. Point number 5, direct observation forms the basis for effective and reliable feedback. This is key. First, if you take the time to directly observe your learner, They will sense your interest in their success, and you will build an educational alliance with them. When there is a strong educational alliance, learners are more receptive to feedback and more likely to incorporate the feedback into their future work. Secondly, your words will have deeper meaning when they are based on behaviors you witnessed. You can talk about the behavior itself rather than making global statements that can make learners feel badly about themselves. For example, you might say, when you interviewed Mrs. Smith, you said at eye level and made her feel listened to. But I sensed by her facial expressions that she did not always understand your questions, especially when you used medical jargon. I heard you ask her if she had any dyspnea on exertion. I sensed she didn't understand what you were saying, so she just said no. Stating what you saw and providing feedback will help much more than just saying you didn't do a good job at getting a history. To recap our 5 points, direct observation lets you assess skills in real time. There's always something you can observe. It does not need to be high stakes. It's actually time efficient, and it forms the basis for effective and reliable feedback. Thank you for listening, and thank you for all you do to educate our residents, students, and fellows.